back live. It's your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Early Insurance. Live from the Golden Leaf Cigar Shop in Hobart, Indiana, 6 and 51. Timmy, the producer Patterson, if you would be so kind, my friend, as to let our listeners know how they can get in touch with us tonight.
You can hit us up on the hotline, 219-743-9743. Hit us up on the Yahoo Instant Messenger, keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, or you can send us a quick email at bolopunchboxinghour@yahoo.com.
And I see here that we've got Ed Brophy of the International Boxing Hall of Fame of Canastota, New York, on the line. Ed Brophy, are you there, my friend?
Yes, I am. Glad to be with you and talk boxing.
Oh, well, that's all we know. That's all we know. Ask our wives. That's all we know. So you have been given quite a present there. Your entire museum and organization has been given quite a present. Why don't you let our listeners know what that is?
Well, we're very pleased and we're very excited, and we're very glad that Madison Square Garden has presented to the Hall of Fame the most famous ring in boxing that's been at the Garden since the early 20s. It's been used for so many great fights and throughout the various different Madison Square Gardens as they moved from location to location, but the ring always remained the same. It's a historic ring and all the greats fought in it, and they've decided to retire the ring, should we say, and get a new ring. And to preserve this ring, they've donated to the International Boxing Hall of Fame so it can be on permanent display. Boxing fans that visit the Hall of Fame here in Canastota, New York, will be able to learn more about the history of boxing that took place at Madison Square Garden. All the great fighters that fought in the ring. We'll have some displays around it. We'll try to do our best to educate fans of all of the memories, all the great fights, and not only the fighters, but the trainers who worked the corners, and the broadcasters who worked around ringside, and the referees that worked in the center of the ring. And there's so much to tell about the story of the ring, and we're very excited about it that Madison Square Garden has donated that, and it's just going to come up north a little bit from down in the city to upstate, in the center of the state to Canastota, New York, the home of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and everybody in the village of Canastota is very excited, and the world of boxing is excited, because now it's really a gift to the world of boxing that everybody can enjoy.
Well, thank you, Ed. I can knock the first 9 questions off my list here. That was awesome. Talk to me a second about the condition of the ring. Obviously, it was taken down because of age and possibly its condition. Is it still usable, or is it ready to be retired?
Well, the ring is still can be used. It's going to be retired, but it's definitely a ring that was well made. It's amazing. I've seen many rings go up and down over the years, but I've never seen a ring that was built like this particular one. When we had the press conference a few weeks back at Madison Square Garden, we had about 15 world champions there to help retire the ring. We had a nice ceremony, and the ring was set up, and we kept the ring apron off so you could see how the steel was built and how it was designed. And it's really amazing the way that the foresight that those who built this ring back in the 20s, it comes in many different pieces. There's no bolts that hold it together. They actually lock in the steel beams. All these different parts lock in and intertwine with each other. And it's an amazing ring. It's well built. But of course, it's taken its wear over the years. But it still could be used. It was just used in June at Madison Square Garden with Zaf Judith and Cotto. But it's time to retire the ring, as the Garden would say, and I think a new ring is going to allow them to be able to put up the ring and take it down much faster in less time than it takes for this particular ring. So with some wear and tear on it and the length of time that it takes, perhaps it's time for the Garden to have chosen a new ring, and we're just so glad that when they chose to purchase a new ring, that this particular ring would come to the Hall of Fame.
Well, when are you going to have the ceremony, and where are you going to display it out there at the Hall of Fame?
Well, we've got our museum well displayed with many artifacts of all the great championship belts and robes and gloves and fight tickets and all the different artifacts of boxing. We did build a few years back an amphitheater pavilion that is on our 10-acre site, which is enjoyed for events. And because we have high ceilings and a large room space that's enclosed that we're going to have the ring set up in there. So when not only will we have our events, people can enjoy the ring inside the pavilion and see the display, but also our fans do visit the event pavilion, our amphitheater, while visiting the museum. We have different exhibits on display there, so kind of like a college campus, which we have here is 2 buildings, and you can walk from one to the other. So we have the space ready for it. We kind of put up a mock-up ring. We had to measure out the square footage and decide exactly where to go. So we've made the room for it, and we think it's really going to be a unique piece when people walk in and see it and be able to take pictures by it. And the fighters themselves who fought in that ring, it's always been known in the history of boxing, if you fought at Madison Square Garden, that was a thrill of your life. But imagine those who won a title or who defended their title there. Today, Alexis Arguello gave a call here to the Hall of Fame, and he was calling for a particular reason, looking for a telephone number, and after that, we started visiting about this ring from Madison Square Garden that was coming this way, and Alexis went on to tell the story how he fought 4 times in that ring, and he defended his title in that ring, and he's looking forward to his next trip to Canastota next June for the Hall of Fame weekend to re-step into the ring and talk about the stories of when he fought in that ring. So not only Alexis Arguello, but a lot of the great champions that come year after year, they can walk now into that ring, take some pictures, tell some stories, their families with them. They can really enjoy it, and it's going to be a thrill to see for the fans to see the champion step in the ring year after year here at the Hall of Fame.
Ed, I'm going on 10 years now, having gone all the way back from the time that Sugar Ray Leonard was inducted all the way till now, and I have not missed one yet. And I'll be real honest with you, man. I'm not ready to start missing them now. Can we expect some sort of a ceremony during induction weekend?
Yeah, what we'll do is when the ring arrives, we're going to have a moment of celebration, and then we will have during the weekend there'll be some time designated to also have another celebration of the ring. Again, this ring, the most historic ring in boxing, maybe one of the most historic artifacts in boxing, because it spans from the 20s to the present, touching so many world champions, so many cornermen. It's probably the one piece that touches the most number of people, not only the fighters and the boxers and the non-participants of those who were around the ring, but what about all the fans that watched this great fight at the Garden, or the many different fans who watched the great fights on TV and recall that fight in that ring? It's amazing. Sugar Ray Robinson fought in it 19 times. Willie Pep 16 times. Floyd Patterson 10 times. Jake LaMotta fought in that ring 17 times. Sugar Ray Robinson 19 times. Max Schmeling fought in it 6 times. The list goes on and on. Of course, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, the fight of the century. This ring that's on display, that will be on display here, just to take a picture in front of it, the fight that everybody of this generation talks about, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Well, the most famous ring will be sitting here, and so many of the other greats. I could list the names of all the great fighters and all the numbers of title fights that they had, and it's quite amazing. So we will be doing a few different celebrations, and we're so glad to have that to the collection so boxing fans can continue to learn about the boxing, enjoy the memories, and we're very thankful to Madison Square Garden, who not only continues to promote the history of boxing by promoting fights after fights at the Garden, but also falls in to help make a statement like this, that they're helping to preserve boxing history, so that this item of the most famous ring is now going to be at the Hall of Fame and enjoyed by all the fans. It's really a great statement by Madison Square Garden.
Well, are the fans going to be allowed to take pictures in the ring?
Right now, we're going to work on all the details. What we will do and how we'll do it is yet to be determined, but we know one thing. We're going to make sure that the fans enjoy the ring and have opportunities in many different ways, and we're going to try to work on those kind of details. We're still in the beginning stages of thrilled with the excitement of the announcement of the ring coming this way, making the plans for the ring to come, starting to make a few preliminary plans of the celebration once the ring arrives. And of course, we're overlapping, trying to plan on how the fans are going to be enjoying it. So there's a lot to be done yet, but definitely fans will have many different ways that they're going to be able to enjoy the ring. And you know, that's what boxing is all about. If you I used the example once. If you took a famous baseball park, took Yankee Stadium, you took the dugout, you put it in Cooperstown at the baseball thing where the great players walked out onto the field, it would be quite a piece to have. Well, perhaps this is even better because it's the entire field. Boxing is played within the square circle, and it's the entire ring where the entire playing field is. Not only the participants, but the referee, the cornerman. So the entire field, in a sense, will be sitting in one location here at the Hall of Fame that once was the field at Madison Square Garden. And so it's time to preserve it and tell the story. You can wish Madison Square Garden continued success with more promotions, with a new ring, and of course the Garden, which was always the mecca of boxing, continues to have some great fights ahead of them, and they've got some upcoming ones that are going to be quite exciting. Starting from up to Canastota, the announcement on December 6th of the new inductees, and then of course in June, the Hall of Fame weekend, and we'll be gathered by this year, upcoming year's inductees, and also many returning Hall of Famers. And also this year we're going to bring in some of the young rising stars of boxing. It's got something a little bit new. We want to, as we continue to preserve and honor yesterday's heroes, we're also going to have one theme night that's called the Night of Rising Stars, and we're going to bring in those who are breaking into the top 10 or who are now in the top 10, and they're the tomorrow's champions. So a lot of the fans also want to meet some of those rising stars, and we're going to bring them in to this year's Hall of Fame weekend. It's going to be quite something for everyone, and we look forward to welcome everyone back to Canastota for the Hall of Fame weekend. And
well, thank you much.
Time throughout the year, we're open 7 days a week.
Well, you can check out the International Boxing Hall of Fame website at www.ibhof.com. International Boxing Hall of Fame. That's ibhof.com. You can check out everything that there is to know about the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Mr. Ed Brophy, we appreciate the hell out of it for taking the time out of your evening, and we'll talk to you very, very soon, my friend.
Well, it's always great to be with us. Great to talk boxing, and I know you got another great guest coming up. So
yes, we do.
I look forward to listening to that interview, and always staying in tune with what you're doing. It's been great boxing.
Appreciate it. All right, Ed Brophy, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.